The Jammers have actually left 3 on base, but compared to 22, that's pretty good. Standahar strikes out for the second out of the inning, back around to the guy that started it all, Connor Rule, who was behind 0-2 with Josh Smith on the hill. Eventually waited out a walk and moved up on a couple wild pitches by Smith. Eventually coming in to score. 9-3 Jammers lead. First pitch to Rule, missed, ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1-0 O'Donnell at second. Estrada at first. Misses outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Connor Rule. Brian Hill is going to go out and say, can somebody throw a strike, please? Frustrating. Josh Smith was unable to get things under control.
How many hits have there been? 2 or 3 in this inning?
And that's going to be it. He's seen enough.
Okay, pitching change, gentlemen.
Tedder behind 2 balls, no strikes, and Brian Hill wants somebody that can throw strikes. Well, let's see what happens this time around with Rule at the plate. It's going to be Chase Austin coming in from the bullpen. Chase Austin, 6'6", 315, from Tioga, PA, attending Corning Community College. Just wrapped up his freshman year there. So Connor Rule steps out, meets Anthony Barone about halfway down the third base line. They have a chat. Anthony giving some advice for Connor as to what to do here as they go to a right-handed pitcher.
Now pitching to the Pioneers from Corning Community College, number 44, Chase Austin.
So Chase Austin becomes the 3rd pitcher of the inning. Grant Donahue went 6. We're in the 7th, and it's taken 3 pitchers now to get to here. So Jackson Tedder's night is done. Tedder goes 2/3, faces 6 batters. Gives up 2 runs to this point on 1 hit. Walked 2, struck out 2, threw 24 pitches, 11 strikes, and 13 balls. Chase Austin in out of the pen for the Elmira Pioneers in 2017 is 2-2 with a 4.82 ERA. Pitched in 17 regular season games, picked up a save, 28 innings pitched, 22 runs scored, 15 of those earned, 42 hits in 28 innings pitched, walked 13, struck out 13, opponents averaging .372 with him on the hill.
I'm sure Andrew's told you that story before, Tanner.
Chase Austin's first pitch to Connor Rule, catches outside corner, and Brian Hill gets his wish. Someone that threw a strike. Count 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Rule hits a grounder. Shortstop Brett Rodriguez goes the short route to Andy Orzel to retire. The Jamestown Jammers forcing Chris Estrada at second base and bring the inning to an end. 5 runs on 1 hit for the Jammers, an error for the Pioneers, and 2 runners left on base. We've completed 7. The score, Jammers 9, Elmira 3 on the Jammers Baseball Network.
Hey everybody, Rachel Ray here. Nothing puts a bigger smile on my face than cooking up a big meal for family and friends. But there's not enough room at my table for the 17 million kids in America who are struggling with hunger. These children, that's 1 out of every 5, often have to skip meals because there's just nothing to eat in the kitchen. Yet there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food produced right here in America to feed every last hungry child. If only there was a way to get it to them. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food to give hope to hungry kids and their families all across our country. But they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America at your local food bank and at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Russell Lee Dietrich Jr. Park. It is Game 1 of the West Division Championship Series between the Jamestown Jammers and the Elmira Pioneers. Jammers advanced last night, defeating the Onondaga Flames in extra innings by a score of 3-2. The Elmira Pioneers, on the other hand, were having their way with the Geneva Red Wings, defeating them 12-2 at McDonough Park. Try to check on the other playoff game in progress tonight as it's Amsterdam and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. That game is over, and the top seed in the PGCBL Amsterdam has fallen to Mohawk Valley 4-3. Best of 3 playoff series. Diamond Dogs advanced by winning 4-3, defeating Albany last night. Have won another one by that same score. We're here in the top of the 8th. At the plate, it's Ayrton Schaefer. The first pitch from Ryan Boyer was a strike. Second one missed. Counts even at 1. Schaefer in center field tonight. 2 for 3 coming into this at-bat. Singled back in the second. Fly ball out to center fielder Skylar Valentine. Final out of the third. RBI single in the 5th. 9-3 Jammers lead. Ryan Boyer, second pitcher of the night for the Jammers. And he wanted to check his swing, and he ended up going around on one up around the eyeballs, and the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Boyer for the Jamestown Jammers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He just blew that right by him. Ryan Boyer, 6'1", 210 from Bradford, PA, attending Pitt Bradford. Has some decided speed when he's out there throwing for Jamestown. Aubrey Major steps up, and in my opinion, better from this side of the plate. His first 3 at-bats were from the right side against Brad Griggs, reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out, and struck out. He's 0 for 3, but on that fielder's choice, he did come around to score back in the second. First pitch by Boyer misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Boyer comes with some heat inside. Major does not offer, and the count is now 2-0. Ayrton Schaefer making his way down toward the bullpen of the Elmira Pioneers. 2-0 pitch. Aubrey Major checks his swing and takes ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody aboard. Ryan Boyer on the hill for the Jammers with a 3-0 pitch high outside, ball 4, walks him on 4 straight. Maybe trying to be too careful with Aubrey Major. He is dangerous, though. 1 home run in the game tonight hit by this guy, Braden Combs, solo homer back in the 4th inning. He was also hit by a pitch and struck out swinging in the 6th when Brad Griggs was still out there in the hill. One out, Major at first. Jammers up 9-3. Ryan Boyer with the first pitch. And that's a beauty over the outside corner to Combs. Strike one. No balls and a strike. Braden Combs in 2017 in the regular season had 2 home runs. He just hit one here tonight. Check to see if he had one there at Geneva. Weak grounder. Off the mound is Boyer. Scoops it up and throws to Ben Brookover, retiring Combs. And Major moves up to second base. And the new catcher that came, 625 OPS for John Crimmen. 1-0 the count on him. Boyer's next pitch, strike one. Comes with... Welcome back to Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park here on the Jamestown Jammers Baseball Network. I'm Dave Shannon, welcoming aboard tonight WWCB Radio in Corey, PA. I'm going to try to bring you as much of the postseason as they can. Of course, there will be 2 games in this series, best of 3. Jammers in control of this one at the moment, 9-3. Don't count the Pioneers out. This team has serious comeback potential. Chase Austin will go out on the hill and warm up. Jamestown Jammers scoring 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the sixth, and then 5 last inning. They were up 4-3 going into the bottom half of the 7th, and they scored 5 on 1 hit. For the bottom of the 8th inning, 9-1-2 to face Chase Austin, Nick Bernick, Chris Conley, John Conti. It's been a good combination for the Jammers tonight. Nick Bernick on base one time when he walked in the 7th, otherwise 0 for 2. Hit a short one down the third base line that was fielded by Dixon. He was retired there, second out of the 2nd. Called out on strikes in the 5th on a 3-2 pitch. He walked and scored last inning. Everybody gets set and ready to go. Chase Austin came in to get the final out against the Jammers there in the bottom half of the 7th. And starts things off here in the bottom of the 8th. It's probably going to be his game the rest of the way. And the first pitch to Bernick way outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Big imposing figure out there in the hill, Chase Austin. Next pitch misses outside. John Crimmen tried his absolute best to pull that one back in and frame it, but if he would have been, that would have been close to Houdini if he could have pulled that off. Outside corner that time, and the count now 2-1 on Nick Bernick. Ball escapes from the bullpen of the Pioneers. Aubrey Major retrieves it, makes his way back to right. No one even knew. Outside corner again, counts even at 2-2. And the faithful here at Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park disagree with Tim Adams' call. $2 to get in the game tonight. If there is a game 3 in this series here at Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park, that'll be $2 admission too. That pitch to Nick, a ball, and counts now full at 3-2. Payoff pitch, outside low, ball 4. I'm feeling for Brian Hill. Just send me somebody who can throw some strikes. It's Chris Conley at the plate. Chris tonight at the plate 4 times, on base 2, doubled and scored back in the first, walked and scored in the 7th. Otherwise popped out to Orzel and a fly ball out to Aubrey Major. First pitch to him, misses inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Chris Conley out for a lot of games toward the end of the season and then back in and contributing as usual. 1-0 pitch. Hits one on one hop to the second baseman. Orzel goes to shortstop Rodriguez for 1. Over to Combs, getting Conley. It's a double play.
Now up the bat, the right
Chris
fielder,
Conley
number
grounds
6.
into a double play. 2 out, nobody aboard. And it brings up John Conti with nobody on. What a night he's had, huh? John Conti tonight doubled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the 7th. Wait a minute. Sorry, got the wrong guy. Conti singled and scored in the first, picked up an RBI, singled, made it to third after he stole second and advanced to third on a wild pitch, only to be gunned down by Colton Evans for the final out in the third. Hits a looper, but not deep enough. Right at Brett Rodriguez, and that'll do it for the Jammers. Finishing up on John Conti, he's 3 for 3, hit a double in the 5th and walked, picked up an RBI with that walk, and eventually scored back in the 7th. This time, not so much. Little popper to the shortstop, Brett Rodriguez, to retire the side. For the Jammers, no runs, no hits, no errors for the Pioneers, and nobody left on base. The score at the end of 8 innings of play, Jammers 9, Pioneers 3 on the Jammers Baseball Network.
Penswood.net Classifieds offers the freshest, most recent classified ads available with over 1,500 new ads each day. If you're looking for a reliable used vehicle, check out the multiple ads daily on Penswood.net Classifieds. From cars, trucks, RVs, and motorcycles, you can scan the ads at Penswood.net at any time of the day or night and find something that fits your needs. Looking for household items, student housing, or even a new pet? Penswood.net Classifieds has it. Penswood.net, where you can buy, sell, or trade locally.
Chances are there'll never be an emergency ever again. But just in case, let's talk about a plan.
Okay.
Who is going to grab the go bag?
What's a go bag? It is a bag we do not have that is filled with things we really, really need in an emergency.
Guess we won't have to worry about it then.
Well, this is great. I am so glad that we don't have a plan.
I know.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Jammers trying to jump out to a 1-game-to-none lead over the Elmira Pioneers in a best-of-3 championship series, up by a score of 9-3. Colton Evans, Brent Rodriguez, and Andy Orzel to face Ryan Boyer. Ground ball up through the box into center field. It's a leadoff single as Colton Evans, first pitch swinging, expecting a fastball from Ryan Boyer. He got it and returned it just as quick. And he's down at first with nobody out.
Number 6, Brett Rodriguez.
Yeah, it is a big hill to climb, but the Elmira Pioneers offense here over the end of the season has been outstanding, winning 12-2 last night. As we told you, the East playoff series, Game 1, the 3-seed Mohawk Valley defeated Amsterdam 4-3, and that one ripped foul down the third base line. That's a very, very noisy strike. Ryan Markey delivering some balls out to the home plate umpire. 0-1 the count on Rodriguez. Runner at first, Colton Evans. Obviously a threat to steal. Colton Evans with the speed down there. Evans on the season, swiped 12, caught 3 times. Of course, when you're down 6, don't know that that's necessarily a priority. 0-1 pitch. Line drive, center field, base hit. Valentine over to cut it off in right center field. Stopping at second is Colton Evans. The first 2 men up are on for the Pioneers in the top of the 9th. Anthony Barone checks to see if the pitcher that was up warming for the Jammers is ready. I think he is, and he's going to make the trip to the mound, and that will be it for Ryan Boyer. So Ryan comes into the game and does a heck of a job, gets a good round of applause from the Jammers fans in attendance tonight, and leaves with 2 on and nobody out. Enter into the game Colin Johnston. Give you some numbers on Ryan and his outing here this evening, and also tell you about Colin Johnston, saves leader on the Jamestown Jammers pitching staff in 2017. Ryan Boyer goes 2, faced 9 batters, no runs, gave up 2 hits, both here in the top of the 9th inning. Walked 1, struck out 1. Threw 24 pitches, 16 strikes, and only 8 balls. And now Colin Johnston will try to keep these 2 guys on base from scoring. Colin on the season for the Jammers, 1-2 with a 1.52 ERA. Only Connor Ryan made more appearances this season with 19. Colin, with his 18 appearances out of the bullpen, netted 5 saves, 29 2/3 pitched, 7 runs, only 5 earned, 28 hits, 11 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hit .255 with Colin on the mound. Right-handed pitcher Colin Johnston on the hill for the Jammers, trying to finish this thing off and get some confidence moving forward in the postseason. Runner at second, Colton Evans. Down at first, Brent Rodriguez. Speed on the bases. First pitch is a bit high, ball 1 to Andy Orzel. Orzel on the night is 1 for 4 coming into this at-bat. Couple of fly ball outs. Hit into a double play. And single. Line drive snagged by Bernick. Throws to second. No, they don't get Evans. Nick Bernick kind of looking around to everybody. And they see what I did? Yes, you did an outstanding job, Nick Bernick. Wow. 1 out. Evans still at second. Rodriguez still at first. And Troy Dixon at the plate. First pitch over the outside corner, strike 1 called. Dixon, the left-handed hitter. Colin Johnston, the righty on the hill. Dixon 2 for 4 tonight. He scored when he reached in the 5th on a fielder's choice. No ball, 1 strike pitch. High in the air. Center fielder Valentine is over into left center. If it's in the air between good old Olean and Erie, Skylar Valentine will catch up with it, and he did again. 2 gone. Pioneers down to their final out, trailing by 6. DH Connor Gramis will try to keep their hopes alive. Connor on the night is 0 for 4. Struck out 2 times. Line drive out to Conti and a ground out to O'Donnell. First pitch by Johnston misses outside, ball 1. Colin was up in the bullpen last night, but Anthony Barone and Hayden Carter felt that Isaac Meza was the right guy to stick with, and was that a good choice or what? Next pitch to Gramis, a swing and a miss, and the count is even at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. Jammers 9, Pioneers 3. Colin Johnston's 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. I think Johnston is feeling it. Let's see if he can finish off Grammas at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Collin with a 1-2 misses outside low, and the count evens up at 2-2. If Grammas keeps it going, Ayrton Schaefer's on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Pitch. Line drive, right field. Conti comes in, gets it on 1 hop, and they'll have to hold Evans at third. Throw comes in to second baseman Nick Burnick. Bases loaded as Grammas does keep it going. And Ayrton Schaefer steps up. Colton Evans at third. Brett Rodriguez at second. Connor Grammas down at first. Ayrton Schaefer tonight, 2 for 4. Singled back in the second. Fly ball out to Valentine. Final out of the third. RBI single in the fifth. Struck out swinging in the eighth with Ryan Boyer on the hill. First pitch to him, a strike. The count 0-1. The next one hit high in the air, deep to left center field. Standahar on his horse at the warning track. Makes the over-the-shoulder catch to retire. Ayrton Schaefer and the Elmira Pioneers in the top of the ninth. Colin Johnston comes in and prevents any runs from scoring. No runs for the Pioneers on 3 hits. No jammers errors, and the bases left loaded. The final score in Game 1 of the best-of-3 West Division Championship Series, the Jamestown Jammers 9 and the Elmira Pioneers 3. A 5-run outburst in the bottom half of the 7th set that up as the Jammers were leading 4-3 going into that inning, and then brought 5 across. It's been a while since the Jammers had a big outburst like that, and it couldn't have come at a better time in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. So the Jammers up 1-0 over Elmira. Will head to Elmira tomorrow to take on these Pioneers at historic Dunn Field. Final score tonight once again, Jamestown 9, Elmira 3. For Anthony Barone, Hayden Carter, Scotty James, and the rest of the Jamestown Jammers, along with the fine staff and crew here at Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park. This is Dave Shannon in Jamestown saying good night, everybody.